Pilot bringing Christmas gifts for passengers insulted by crew. They mocked him the moment he stepped into the cockpit. "This old man still flying?" whispered one young co-pilot, smirking as the others laughed. Captain Miles just smiled, clutching the small red bag he carried. A bag the crew didn't know contained Christmas gifts for every passenger on board. As the plane taxied through the falling snow, the flight attendant rolled her eyes. "You're slowing us down with those charity stunts again, aren't you?" She snapped. Miles simply said, "Not charity, just Christmas," and went back to his checklist. No one knew his story, how 20 years ago, Miles lost his wife and little daughter in a crash he couldn't prevent. Since then, every Christmas flight he took gifts for strangers, because he couldn't buy any more for them. Midway through the flight over the Atlantic, turbulence hit hard. The plane trembled, lights flickered. The young co-pilot panicked. "We're losing pressure." Miles took over calmly, hands steady on the controls. "Everyone strap in," he said, almost whispering, his voice steady in chaos. Outside, lightning cracked through the clouds like broken glass. Inside, alarms screamed. The co-pilot froze, unable to think. Miles guided the aircraft manually, drenched in sweat, fighting the storm that threatened to tear them apart. His voice was the calm every soul on board clung to. "We're not dying today," he muttered. "Not on Christmas." Minutes later, the storm broke silence. The cabin erupted in applause. The same co-pilot who mocked him now stared in awe. The flight attendants were trembling, tears in their eyes. Miles checked on the passengers, smiling faintly. He walked down the aisle, handing out the little wrapped gifts he'd prepared. Tiny keepsakes with handwritten notes that said simply, "You're not alone this Christmas." But the moment they landed, one supervisor stormed over. "Captain, you delayed departure for personal nonsense. You're grounded for protocol violation." Miles didn't argue. He just handed her a small gift too, she didn't open it. The story spread hours later when a passenger posted his note online, a note from the captain who risked his life to save the flight and still found time to give. Messages of love flooded in, and the airline reversed its decision. The same crew who disrespected him now stood in silence as he walked back onto the plane for his next flight. Because the world finally saw the kind of man he really was, a man who carried Christmas not in his bag but in his heart. Then share your thoughts in the comments.